Hello, hello,
Hello,
hello.
hello, hello.
How are you doing, Zach?
Good, good. Yeah, we are back with another amazing episode, right? Super excited.
Yes, and we're just continuing the serverless topic
Yeah,
itself.
not
And
containers. That's good.
yeah, we're still in the modern tech, so why not serverless?
Mm,
Right?
yep.
Uh, Today is very special because we do have one of our regular attendees for all of our podcasts joining us as our speaker. So, uh, before that, any updates, Zach? I know there's Community Day in New Zealand happening. There is also two versions of it, one virtual, one in person. There is also Go to Serverless happening in Bangalore. And I know there are a lot of other things as well happening globally, but yeah,
Yeah.
anything on that?
The virtual one, unfortunately, we had to close the CFPs earlier because we received a lot of CFPs. So thank you everyone for sending that because we are hosting for the first time, right? Um, we can talk about that more with our special guest today because he's one of the man behind all this success as well. So um, and in-person one, yes, it's going as we planned and all going smoothly as so far. And hey Mohammed, greeting to all, thank you. Yeah, so both are like going very well, and we have only couple of weeks for our virtual one. We are super excited, and same time we are like the team is really curious because first time we are doing something like that, and we will be learning a lot of things, and yeah, amazing.
Yeah, on the Community Day front and the person behind the AI posters, right?
Yes.
Uh, our guest today built a tool as well. And this was more of collaboration with Avinash Rashid from the Bangalore user group or Bangalore
Yep.
ACD team. And John, our speaker for the day, uh, did build a tool where you could just give in a few details about the speaker, the session, and it generates the AI uh, poster itself. So that was one collaboration that we started off with, and ACD's pre what do you call uh, prepping for ACD?
Yes, like a yeah, like kind of like spring planning for ICD.
Sprint planning. Oh yeah, now that's a DevOps man talking.
Yeah. Cool. I think the drum rolls and everything ready. Let's welcome our special guest today.
Yes, bringing in John all the way from New Zealand.
And Wellington.
Well, yes.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. John. Work in Earth Sciences New Zealand, formerly Gienna Science. Um, just here to talk about my experience with uh, joining the serverless, which was the Lambda hackathon, just like almost 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
Was this the first time that you started building with Lambda, John? Or
Um, Not the first time, but first time to join for an event that, yeah, you really have to deliver on a deadline. So yeah, that was the difficult part. But yeah, I've been using Lambda for a while, but yeah,
nice, nice. Yeah, hackathons come with a hard timelines. So yes, we get you.
yep. And
Awesome.
yeah, you also have to do your day job. So yeah, you can only do on your free time, really. Yeah.
Yep, yep, yep. Um, so let me get your screen up,
Yeah.
and you can dive into the project that you built.
Yes. And before we go ahead, like John is not only a very regular supporter for the Zacs Show, but same time for the Wellington user group. I think he's always there for the Wellington user group, and he did a talk also like last meetup, right? Like he built something, a game using the Q CLI, and he was doing I think his first session as a speaker in a meetup. So he did really good job. Yeah. So
Awesome.
yeah, let's get his screen.
So, John, all over to you.
Yep. So this was my entry in the hackathon. So let me just click that one. So I have built an IAM policy monitor. So or I have a different name actually. So but anyway, it's similar. Um, so basically, what inspired me was to build something which monitors the IAM processes. So or events, especially if sometimes when you're doing something and you might forget that you're providing excessive rights. So with this serverless um, tool, or I mean infrastructure, it helps you monitor the events. It does the remediation for you, and it does have some notification as well. So we can go through that in a while. So this is yeah. So this is the other name.
So naming is anyways the hardest part of the project, right? Like
Yeah,
naming.
I yeah
Yeah, I think we all agree with you.
yeah. I did name it IAM Policy Monitor initially, but then I forgot that I have another name for it. But yeah, that's how it happened. So yeah. So what it does, so as I mentioned, it does a real-time monitoring. I did put a little bit of AI here for the risk analysis. Um, it does an auto remediation, and it has have a few notification channels. So yeah, so this is the flow. So uh, we rely heavily on CloudTrail, and we have an event bridge which monitors these events, the IAM events, and then once there's a specific target, it would then send that uh, to a Lambda, and yeah, so this is the process. Uh, so based on my testing, most of the time, once an event triggers and it violates, it does get remediated almost instantly. So yeah, and it does comes with a dashboard, a simple dashboard that allows you to monitor the progress of the service, and if there's any alerts that comes in, or something related to it, it does give you a nice view on it. These are the samples of the notification. So this one is a Slack notification, and the other one is via the email. Uh, we can go later here. We'll have a demo, so we'll go through that live in action. So yeah, so these are the links for the solution, and then yeah, yes. So next, let's go to the repository. So this is the this is the code that we can use to deploy, and this code it has some readmes here, documentation that uh, gives you an idea of what this does. Um, yeah. So yeah, this is the flow. Uh, it it also mentions here how the remediation happens. So if let's say an event happens in that was captured in CloudTrail, then it goes to queue, And then if you have enabled the remediation, it does also automatically. So maybe I'll go through the example first. So yeah, so the solution that I created is using the Terraform module. So
Sorry, John. Can you make it a little bit bigger, the screen?
oh
I think the text bit smaller.
yeah, what about
Uh,
now?
yes, I think that should be fine. Yeah, cool.
Okay. So yeah, so I created a module for it, so it's easier to follow if you would like to use it. And it comes in three different examples. We have the complete, minimal, and standard. Minimal is basically if you just want to get started with it, you can use the minimal. So with minimal, it does the capturing, but it doesn't do the remediation. So that's what you have in standard and complete. The remediation comes in these two examples, but with complete, you have the additional information on the analytics that provides you information, which is using the Athena. So So for our demo today, we'll be using the complete one. So that's basically um each or I mean all the features that comes with the solution. So yeah, so this is the demo that we'll be using. Um here so this is almost or I'd say equivalent to the complete example. So this is mainly comprised of two modules, the module for the CloudTrail and the module for the IAM Policy Guard. So yeah, initially I didn't thought about doing a module for CloudTrail, but I might use this in the future. So that's why I just draw a Terraform module for it. So yeah. The other thing is this solution. So with IAM policy, normally since this is a global resource, it goes to US East 1. So initially, the issue that I faced is when I was trying to deploy this in 80 Southeast 2, which is Sydney, I was not getting the events that I need to capture related to the IAM policies. So then that's when I realized that you cannot, I mean, it won't be simple if you stay in the US, I mean, outside of US East 1. So that's the reason why I stick to US East 1. So yeah, all the resources are deployed there. So basically, you can deploy it outside of US East 1, but then there's just an additional complexity and probably a cost because you need to forward the CloudTrail events to the other region that your resource will be hosted if you want to be outside. So yeah, so this is just a basic enabling of the CloudTrail. I did have to enable the force destroy for to allow the testing easy cleanup. So as we know, S3 bucket, when you create that and it's not enabled for force destroy, if there's a content inside, you can't simply destroy it. So that's the reason why I have to use that. But in production, I normally don't do this. Yeah, and then I try to limit the life cycle to a lower number because I mean cost. So yeah, but in production, you normally would probably leave this to a high number, or probably you won't even delete. So yeah. Then so for the main module, that's the IAM Policy Guard. And so these are the variables that we would need to specify. So yeah, so the name prefix. So basically, this just to ensure that when you deploy your resource, it doesn't have uh, a duplicate. So yeah, so that's somewhere here. And then so if you configure the SNS alert email, then this would mean that this is the email address that the notification will send the email to. And the next one is the Slack webhook URL. So basically for the notification via Slack. And then yeah, since we want to see everything, so just specify all the values to true. And then here's the bedrock part for the risk analysis. To enable that, is just set to true and then specify which model. So for this particular use case, this particular model is enough. I So far I see that this is sufficient and cost effective for this particular use case. You can use a different model, but it may be expensive, or maybe it's not enough for the use case. So yeah. Then yeah, the memory is also customizable. So it depends on the workload that you have. You have the flexibility to specify that. The remediator is the part where it requires a little bit of memory. So minimum we specify 512, but if we're encountering errors because there's not much memory, then we can simply increase that one. Then yeah, log retention. It really depends on how long you want to keep. And yeah, for this demo, I just allow everything to be force destroyed, so I can easily delete them. Yeah. So we have the capability to specify a custom config for the remediation. So basically, this defines on what type of uh, what kind of remediation you want to happen. So it's in the template here, and this is something that you can play around. So the challenge that I have with this when I was trying to harden the configuration here is that the IAM policy guard itself is being prevented by itself. So yeah, so this is something that you really have to tweak and make sure that you're not going to lock yourself. Yeah. So initially when I was playing with this, the event comes in, but the remediation doesn't apply because it's being blocked. So yeah, and then there's an option here. So this is like the default, but this basically defines the severity color and the slack. So like for example, this is the oh yeah, you can make it bigger. So this is a sample message or alert, and the band color here is depending on what you have to find here in the severity colors. So for success, if let's say it has been remediated, then it's green. Then yeah, so it changes depending also on the level of the criticality.
That's a very good of thinking, because I use day to day Slack, and colors
Yeah,
can define, right, which
yep,
severity, and yeah, it can give you kind of like a signal. Okay, this is a red color and is a critical. Oh,
Yeah,
go and check the ASAP.
yeah. It's an eye catching if you see red. So yeah, if it's everything's just plain text, then sometimes you really have to spend a little bit more of time to really see if it's okay or not. And then yeah, for our demo, we have enabled the debugging mode. So this just send more logs. So if we are encountering issues, it helps us identify what it is, and we can do something about it. And I did have put this create test option. So basically what this does is um, instead of us creating an event manually for the testing, this does create, uh, this has the option for us to create the test, and we can trigger that to execute.
So
So
does that Boolean configuration send events to event bridge or something? If I'm
mm,
not wrong.
yeah,
And you have the events pre-configured. Is that like just for testing?
yes.
Uh,
So there's two event bridge. Okay, let me see if there's a diagram. Oh yeah, there should be a diagram here. Yeah. So there's two event bridge here. This is the custom one. The other one should be somewhere here,
mhm.
in between here. That's the default. So it has a pre-configured events. We can deploy and we can see what it filters. Yeah, let's um,
It's been a while. We did Terraform on the Zacs Show.
I'm a fan of Terraform, everything.
Yeah.
So yeah. So it would create 120 resource. Yes. While it's running, it's just quick, but while waiting for that, let's see from here. Oh, don't prompt. So yeah, so one is Cloud Trail. Then we have I buckets, the Lambda, Event Bridge, SNS. So Cloud Trail. So we just deploy. We are trying to deploy now. So that should be this one because I don't have any Cloud Trails earlier. So yeah, that's just this. So then it should create the S3 buckets that we need. So we have this three and US East one, and then we should have this lambdas. So yeah, so they just had deployed. So yeah, the lambdas that I created uses Python script. So all this are in Python. It took me a while to really make this work.
Curious, why do you say that, John?
Um, the testing part is the challenge. So I did have to have a hybrid Python code where I can also do a test, unit test. So
Mhm.
yeah, and then making sure that even if you haven't deployed, is the code really works like it should. That's also was one of the challenge.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, serverless. The challenge is yes, local testing
Mm,
is
yep,
is the thing,
yep.
and I don't know if you are familiar with this tool called Local Stack, uh,
No.
which basically simulates AWS cloud on your machine. So it runs a Docker image where
Mm,
you can run all of the AWS services, test things locally, see if it is working as how it should technically work on the production AWS account, and then
mm.
you can deploy it.
Okay, cool. I'll have a look at that. Good that you share that. Yeah. So yeah, so we have two event bridge rules here. The standard one is what captures the event types that we want to monitor. So it's these are the event names.
Sorry to cut you, John. Maybe zoom in
Yeah,
on the console.
I was about to say
Oh yeah.
one
One
more.
more should be good. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. So yeah. So these are the event names that we are monitoring. Yeah. So the event source IAM. So yeah, basically this. And then if we enable the like for example the remediation, then uh this goes in there and then it would do the evaluation. So yeah, so we should have the topics. So let's go back to the telephone. So it's done. It was just quick actually. So yeah, so for us to go to the dashboard, there's a direct link here, or you can go to, we just go to the CloudWatch dashboard. Yep, so this is our dashboard and it has all our resources here. And so far it's good. It's green. Yep. Let's go back to that. So for us to trigger the event, we can execute this or we can go to the code build. So I created that code build, which allows us to do the, but we can trigger it here first. Oh, I need to set the region. Yep, triggered. Now can go back here. If we go to code build, it should have executed that. And yeah, so it is in progress now. What actually this does is it is simulating. So there's nothing here yet after this. So we should have something. What's happening here? It's a little bit slow. So yeah, so basically this is just some commands that would execute some events. So like for example, this one is going to create a role So basically, these are something that we know it will trigger something because they are highly permissive. Oops, that's there. It's the events. So it's so far based from my testing, it's always quick. So what? So if let's say we have triggered the event at 9:03, and the event is, oh, what's the name? Let's say the rule is admin policy attachment. Almost instantly it gets remediated. So because we have enabled the remediation. So yeah. So this is another one. We have five, I think five sample events which are highly permissive. So, and we expect that since we have enabled the remediation, it should come and it should be remediated right away. So this is another event. So from here, um, oh, I forgot to enable the but let's go back to that. So in the SNS, there's one part there that once if you configured it the first time, you need to accept uh, uh, that in the email for you to get the
It's a
notification.
subscription, right?
Yeah, I haven't done that, but we can always go back to that again. But let me just. So this is the AI part. So the good thing with using AI here is um we don't have to code this like so if let's say we if you don't use an AI, what happens is you need to capture all the possible um values or possible what you call this combinations for you to be able to rate this. But with us using the AI, it simply just help us. So by providing it the events information, then it gives us some details of like the score and um, more details on what's the summary and let's say how confident is it in its answer. Yeah.
Yeah, AI certainly helps with summarizing, giving you that first-hand information
Mhm.
about what's wrong and giving you at least the severity, right? Like
Yep.
something's really bad, you have to look at it first with priority. So
Mhm.
AI certainly helps with that.
Mhm.
Question to you, John.
Mhm.
Did you experiment or try this out with multiple models, or I remember seeing Claude in the code base,
Yep.
but just asking you about, did you check out with other models as well, or was it Claude first? And I know Claude gives better results, but just
Mhm.
curious,
Uh,
what was your
I
insights?
didn't try other models, but when I was searching for the best model for the use case, this was the first thing that I got. And then based from where what I have read is you can provide maybe a higher end of. So if you provide a lesser capable AI, it might take a little bit more time or may not be able to deliver what you need. If you provide slightly higher than this current, what that means is you might get the same answer, but you'll pay more. So the cost will be higher. So based from this use case, this version 3 appears to be the best. Yeah. But you can always tweak. It depends on what you need to ask the ML. So you may need to change the model, but for these purposes, it just fits the requirement. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Yep.
So yeah, let's go to that email. haven't enabled it. So
So
this is what
email is with SES, I'm assuming.
I'm using the SNS.
Okay.
Yep. So first time you always have to accept the subscription, but because we missed that, so this is what we only got. So now let's confirm this first, and I can trigger again. Oops. Oops. Oh, that's the earlier one. Oh, I hate this Google, this Gmail. So this was my testing earlier. This is the new one. It
Yeah, it
summarizes the
truncates it.
If you can click that three, oh yeah.
yeah, it summarizes the email. So yeah, that's good. So if we go back and trigger, where's that? This one.
I think for a
And
critical one, as a practically, right, like what we're trying to do, if
mhm,
there's a violation, we get the Slack notifications, yes, but maybe send to a third party tool, like, get alert to your phone.
mhm, yep,
That's something in a real situations, right? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Technically, production, yes, you use third party tools for all the notifications and alerting. So,
mhm.
yes.
So yeah, I just triggered this, and so let's go to the last. I got the notification from Slack. Oh yeah, here or the email notification. So yep, it does work. This is the violation. Yeah. So this is the violation, and the next email was the time that it remediated. So it just few seconds difference. So yeah,
Um,
well,
Maybe open one of the emails and you can zoom in, John.
yeah. Oh yeah, sorry.
One of the
Mm,
emails you can open and zoom in. That should be good, so that we understand, okay, what's the information passed in the email,
mm,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, similar to the Slack. It's but there's a little bit of information actually on the email. But so yeah, it gives you what's the rule, severity, description, who did. You'll have some information about that, and it gives you the detail of what action was performed. So yeah, so this is more like if you need to investigate, then you have the information here. Yeah. So the risk analysis is similar that is we saw from on the Slack channel. So yeah, it's almost similar with a little bit of information. Yep. So with it does provide more information in terms of recommendation. So this is something that the AI provided, so we didn't have to really um, do something manually or like create a table with the possibilities or variations.
Just curious if, because this is a message posted to SNS topics,
Hmm.
would you encounter the limitations with respect to the payload size or anything such? Because I know this is a lot of information that's there on the email.
Hmm. Hmm.
Just curious if did you encounter any such data payload concerns with
So far I didn't, but yeah, that's a good thing that you mentioned. So something that I would have to consider, that if you exceed, then probably there's some, maybe errors, or maybe something that you need to take action. Yeah, that's maybe you can go there. So hold on. So this is what it looks like in the dashboard. Let's just refresh this first. So they are green, but if let's say something is not remediated, there should be some of this would be red, like this. I think this one.
I believe they got remediated. You did get email notifications, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. So yeah, when I was testing, and it happened that the remediation didn't occur because it was blocked, I did have the red one here. So yeah, from the Lambda side, um, the most that is very utilized here is the detector, because it does the detection. And yes, so it works every time there's an event, and then it will check if it meets uh the threshold, if it's one of the classifications that it is being monitored. So yeah, so if we go to the monitoring here, we have different events. And yeah, so this are like the metrics of um what was triggered. So yeah, since everything was remediated and nothing was um
So
dropped.
these are based on the Lambda functions, right? Like,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. This is the function. And since we enable the logging, we get more information if we go to the CloudWatch. So this is something good if you are encountering problem, you can enable it and see what's happening. So yeah. So like for example, there are some event that doesn't meet um, the requirement, so it will just be ignored. But sometimes you may get something like this, but it's something that you really want to monitor. So this is where you can see what's happening if, let's say, what you intend doesn't work properly. So yeah, so this one is an example of something that is something that has to be remediated. Yeah. So I try to made it a point that the resource that we deploy have the necessary CloudWatch logs. So if you need to troubleshoot, it's you have that information available for you, and you have the option to enable debug logging if you need, or if you're good and you don't need to troubleshoot, you can just put it back to a normal mode where you don't really incur much of the cost. So during my testing, until I submitted the use case, I just spent like $4 for USD total. So yeah, that's really good with serverless. So it's just doesn't work or doesn't query something if it doesn't run. The only thing I guess that cost me, because this is free tier and most of the resources have some credits every month. I guess that's the the ML, the Bedrock, and the Cloud Trail. Yeah. So mainly these two. The rest are still part of the free tier.
Yeah, CloudTrail APIs are expensive
Mhm.
for each call, right? And also, uh, Bedrock, it depends on the model that you're using. So
Yep.
Claude,
Mhm.
like you mentioned, is
Mhm.
one. I mean, you do incur a good amount of cost for it, but
Mhm.
still $4 is still doable, right? Like for a
Yep.
solution like this, where you're detecting anomalies on your IAM policies and fixing it, also alerting and then rechecking if that fix has been good or not. That's really
Mhm.
great.
Yep. Yeah. So I guess even if on a personal usage, something that you might consider to use because it's not really that expensive. The cost really, I guess, for the Bedrock, the cost it's not fixed. It depends on how many events you get. So if it's just testing environment, you hardly won't would be getting anything. The probably the fixed cost would be the Cloud Trail because it always runs in the background. So yeah, but I mean in the production environment, I don't think that cost matters really. That that's very low cost.
Yeah, but when it comes to security and the cost,
Yeah,
I think security takes high
yeah.
priority, right? Yeah. Cool. Jones, we have some
Yeah,
questions.
Muhammad has posted a couple things in the chat.
Hmm.
Let me get that up. Can we do it as a parallel action for IAM Policy Guard? He means something like an example where each resource has its own policies through parallel flow. And I was just doing a follow up asking him what that parallel flow is, and he referred to being multiple policies and remediations taking place at the same time with the identify marker. So I think it's more of a race condition, right? But John, feel free to add on.
Yeah.
How would you address these?
I guess if Muhammad is referring to let's say IEM policy monitoring, you can play with the template actually. So other than I mean, if it's if everything's still IEM, there's a configuration that you can specify. So like um for example this one you have the option to if let's say you um there's an event that comes which is let's say very frequent but you know that is something that should be allowed you can configure that here but if let's say but I don't really see an situation where you want to deploy two of this solution but if you really want to do then it's possible that if the event that's being monitored by the two solutions is the same, then they probably both will capture it. Yeah.
Understood. Thanks, John. Muhammad, I hope that answered your question. If not, you can post them in the chat and we'll take that up again. Okay.
Our friend Bhavesh is here. Hey, Bhavesh. Hello, hello.
Bhavesh is another regular attendee of our podcast.
Yeah. I sometimes come along with him. Yeah.
Nice. So I think I was going to ask about the
Mhm.
cost end of the session, but you already
Mhm.
mentioned about that. And I wish you luck. We wish you luck for your submission. Hopefully, we would love to hear back from you, like how
Yep.
it goes, right?
Yeah, I did
There's-
see the Lambda team posting it somewhere that the evaluations are in process. So
Yep.
fingers crossed, John. Fingers crossed.
Yep. But it's quite. I'm not sure how to say, but so there's like 3,000 plus submission, but then there's like less than 10% who really submitted. So I mean, 3,000 who intended to join, but the real submission is lesser than 10%. Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
I believe it's more of the reality of the hackathon, right? When
mhm.
people hear about the hackathon, even me, right? At instances, I've gone and registered to hackathons. End of the day, I've not built it, so I've not submitted it. So yeah, it's pretty much common with hackathons. So, yeah.
Yeah. You can join this one. This one has a hefty price here. Yeah.
Let's see, right, Jones?
Yep.
Kiro.
I joined here, and I don't know yet what I would be submitting, but I did join. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll certainly back you, John. Like, yes, go, John, go. And hopefully, we'll again have you on another episode where you can talk about the Kiro hackathon as well.
Yep.
Yep,
That would be cool. Yep. There's
cool.
a lot of good submissions also in the Lambda hackathon. Yeah.
I can't wait to see all these submissions and who will win this first prize.
Yep. But yeah, there's a lot of AI stuff there.
Cool. Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, I think you are on time, right, Jones?
Yep, time looks all good. John,
Mhm.
back to you, right? You've built this, and then all of the project is up and running. What do you
Mhm.
think of the future enhancements would be for the project, right? Uh, what's it that you have on the roadmap for building or extending the capabilities with IAM Policy Guard?
Um, Probably more on the analytics, the reports. Like what I mean, like let's say what are the common detection. So if you expand it, so if let's say on maybe large company, normally there will be like problem management. If let's say things always happen, so we have to do something about it. So with that analytics, it helps you provide. I mean, it gives you that information of what are those, and if let's say those can be excluded because they're supposed to have or they're supposed to run and not to be captured. So that's something that you can do. So yeah, uh, probably a dashboard. So currently configurations that I do, it's like everything is in Terraform, but not all the time. I mean, probably if a user is not so technical, they may not really use Terraform. They might use like let's say a web UI where they can change the configuration. Yeah, something that I can consider. Yeah, it's really. I mean, you can really think a lot of things really if you really want to focus on it. Yeah.
Got it, got it, got it. Well, we wish you best, John, and we would certainly love to see the project taking more shape, right? So, like with all of that you mentioned with uh, dashboards and
Mhm.
monitoring, and also with respect to the web UI, right? Like, sounds
Mhm.
fun. I mean,
Yep.
yeah, everyone. I mean, at least we love to make changes in the code, but
Yes.
I know everyone does love UI. So, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so anyone who would like to use it or even fork it or maybe get a copy of their own, feel free. It's available. It's in my GitHub repository. And yeah, there's a good documentation also in the Terraform registry of the module itself. So yeah,
I
That is really cool. Actually, you created this module in the registry so people can
yep.
use it
Honestly,
and contribute it too, right? Like,
yep. I I do have a lot. Just playing around. Yeah.
wow,
So
this is really
yeah.
cool contributions.
Nowadays, so I used to do like just a simple repo to create something, I mean, a certain use case that you want to learn. But then as time goes by, I find that if I need to do something similar, I would tend to forget it. So, and then I would tend to question what I did before. So now with Terraform modules, it allows me to reuse, and I just provide parameters, and I don't have to think about it in the future. So yeah, and since it's also available in the public, so anyone really can use. I'm amazed some of this module actually some really are being used. I don't even use it. After my testing, I don't use it anymore. But yeah, I can see some numbers here.
yeah. I mean, uh, kudos to you, John, for contributing to the community and enabling the rest of the world to also be aware of the things that you've been building, right? Like
Mm.
Terraform modules, certainly a brilliant idea. So yeah,
Yeah,
kudos to you.
I used to just search, and I feel like it's a way for me to give back to the community that was helping me when I was in need. So yeah,
That's the spirit. That's the spirit of
yeah.
community. And my camera keep going on and
Mhm.
off.
Yeah, probably
All
John
good.
will have a repo for your camera.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fix my camera. Yeah. All good. Nice. And thank you so much, John. I hope to see you in a couple of weeks in another meetup here, right? Like, yeah.
Yep, why not?
Why not? Yes. And yes, and thank you so much again for joining with us and sharing all the cool stuff you did. And to be honest, I'm a big fan of Terraform and the contribution I've done, which is amazing. And I really like what you mentioned, like you learn from the community and you want to give back
Yep.
to the community, right? I think that's what we
Mhm.
all do it. And our friend Rakit is here.
Familiar?
Yeah. So John, Rakit is actually one of my
Hmm.
best friends.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know him since Sri Lanka,
Uh-huh.
long time. So I got to know about John, like met John through him. So yeah, thanks,
Rocky
Yeah.
Rocky.
is also based out of New Zealand, Wellington.
Yeah. My coworker in
Yes,
ESNZ.
Ah,
Small world. Yeah.
yeah, cool. I think.
yeah. Mohammed
Oh, we have
is
another question.
probably suggesting in the future support something
Oh,
like CDK and Pulumi as well for IAC. So yeah, CDK is picking up a lot, and Pulumi was technically one of the first IAC tools I started with. So why not?
that's nice. And it's a good chance for the other committee members, right, to start doing it like what John did. It will be a good inspiration, and yeah, try to
Yeah,
convert it.
putting Mohammed on the spot, probably Mohammed himself can
Yes.
build a CDK version of the.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, it was certainly a fun project. Well, also an amazing one because everyone at one point in our life have misconfigured our IAM policies. So, thanks,
Yeah.
John, for making the rest of our life easier.
Me included on that list. Yeah.
Awesome, then.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks for
All good
the
then.
opportunity to join you guys today. Yeah. really amazing.
No, we would love to. We would love to share around the world what other builders are doing these awesome things. So yeah, it's more than a pleasure, and we love to see you uh, contribute to the community more like this in upcoming future events. And yes, and thank you for all the support you're doing for the community as well in New Zealand.
Thanks, John.
Cool. Then we are on time. It's all good. And thanks again, John, for joining with us today. And yes, Zach. So we can join with another session in another couple of
Coming
weeks.
soon. And
yes. And
still the topic is not decided. So yes, if you guys
Yeah.
want to know anything specific to DevOps or serverless, you can probably hit one of us about what you're looking for, and we could build a topic around it.
oh, how to make a good coffee?
Or even a
Yeah.
chai. Come on.
yeah. No offense.
Or even a beer. Why not? Why not beers?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How to brew.
Awesome, Dan. So see you soon on the Zacs Show. Thank you, John, for being our guest today and sharing about your project. And thanks to Bhavesh, Muhammad, Raki, and the rest of you folks for joining us live. See you all soon in another episode of the Zacs Show Talking AWS. See you.
Bye bye.